friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another bucket full of used up products to talk about. I actually have some staple items in here, so I'm going to go ahead and leave chapters down below just in case you want to ping pong around to different things. And I will start with the two makeup products that I have in here. So the first makeup product that I have is actually a decluttered item. I am going to declutter this Buxom Empty Customizable Eyeshadow Palette. So this I got entirely because of a fluke on Sephora's website. Basically, there was a glitch on their site where traditionally you would pay to customize this palette. It was like something like $40, but for whatever reason, they were only charging you like a couple of dollars for the palette and what was inside of it. So I hopped on the website when I was made aware of this glitch and added the only 3 shadows that I could add to the palette and checked out. And so I basically ended up with these 3 shades, and my issue with them is not the quality, but it's the fact that they all have like an underlying silver nature to them. And I just don't love the look of mostly silver on my skin tone. I'm much more, shockingly with my ginger hair, a gold person, and gold-based tones look better on me. So I just never reach for this, and I don't need to add Buxom shadows into my life to fill this. I'm just gonna go ahead and declutter it. The other makeup product I have that I'm counting as finished off, I struggle to find the threshold for when to say this item is done, and that is my beauty blender. I basically, and this is probably gonna sound kind of nasty, so I apologize in advance, but I know that we're friends, so we can have these conversations. I tend to create the threshold of when to get rid of this when I go to clean it and I can't seem to break up the ball that's sort of formed inside here. Like, I squeeze this and there are noticeable lumps, and I tried to clean it and I couldn't get the lumps out. So I'm officially calling it good. I have never been good at knowing when to be done with this type of product. I know people say like 3 months, but I just don't pay attention to when I pull this out, first off. And second, and this could be like a statement that gets judged, I am not always the greatest about following that rule. Like mascara, I don't follow the 3-month rule of mascara. I use a mascara until it's finished up. I feel comfortable doing that because I don't tend to have 50 mascaras open. So I theoretically can use a mascara until it's finished and it's not like a year old. So I don't worry about that kind of threshold. So if you have tips that aren't just 3 months for how you figure out when to call it a day on any makeup sponge like this, not just Beauty Blender, let me know in the comments below. I have a number of Beauty Blender sponges, but I'm not loyal to Beauty Blender. I have since fallen in love with the ColourPop silicone core sponge. That's my new favorite. I tend to find that I have amassed a bunch of Beauty Blenders because although I'm traditionally loyal to this, I've since gotten out of my comfort zone and found other ones. So I had purchased a bunch at one time, and now I kind of use them interchangeably with my other sponges while I wait to finish these off. So you'll see probably a few more of these in the next few trash talks at some point, but eventually I'll get off the Beauty Blender train and just have cheaper sponges. All right, now we're gonna move into bathroom products. The first one we have is a contentious one in the Violet household. That is the Jello Cucumber Melon Jasmine Flower hand soap. As you guys recall, I intentionally bought these because the claim to fame for this brand is they sell these Tide pods, basically is what they look like, where you plop some pods in here, you put some water and you shake it up and you have hand soap. And it's meant to be a way to get away from single-use plastic, although this is plastic, so okay. So first thing to note, I like the smell of this. It is a very true cucumber melon, Bath & Body Works-esque scent, but the jasmine flower does give it a bit more variety, so I do like the scent of it, pleased with that. But it's the packaging that is a no-go for me. The reason I dislike this is entirely because of the packaging. The pump here is not on a good equilibrium with the rest of the bottle. What I mean by that is when you go to press your hand on this, because this is a little bit wider and this is a bit hard, you go to press it and the bottle, as you use the soap up, starts to slip as you go to press it. Or the other thing you'll see is that when you go to press it, it is so hard to press down that by the time you get the full pressing effort down, it punches out a bunch of soap. It is not a delightful experience. In fact, I at first told Ben about this and I was like, ooh, this is so exciting. We might get different hand soap, like try it out, what do you think? And he was just like, okay, nutso, like calm it down, it's just hand soap. And there were like a couple of occasions where I was like, what do you think? Do you like it? Are we gonna stop buying Bath and Body Works soap? And he was like, I don't have an opinion. Well then, things changed. Once he got through, like halfway through on this was in our kitchen, he was like, I have thoughts. Tell everyone that this is a bad hand soap for this reason. So, long story here, I don't think I've been converted to Jell-O. I don't think that this is the new go-to hand soap. In fact, I ended up pouring the next batch of this into a Bath and Body Works hand soap because I was just not able to stand it anymore. And it's a little bit frustrating for like a bunch of reasons, but it's also frustrating that I need to keep this because this is 10 fluid ounces and the Bath and Body Works hand soaps are, I think, like 8.5 ounces. So I can't just use those going forward with the little pouches because then I'm gonna have more hand soap per water ratio than I'm supposed to. So I have to hold on to this and use this as like my mixing forum and then pour this into Bath and Body Works hand soaps. That is not the trade-off I was looking for. I was looking forward to helping the environment, but as we know, it needs to also be aesthetically pleasing and convenient, and I can't say that about this product. So, like the scents, don't like the pump. Perhaps you'll still buy it anyways. I don't know, you do you. Next item that I have is a go-to face cleanser that I've been using for quite some time. It is from Erin's Faces. This basically is a like indie clean beauty type of brand that I learned about from Hannah Louise Poston. She swears by their peptide sunscreen, which I did purchase. I think it's okay. I don't love it, but it's doing the job. But while I was on the website, I was in the market for a new face cleanser and I wanted to get a charcoal-based one. This stuff is not inexpensive. I think it was in the $30 mark, which pricey, but it's a small brand and it is clean ingredients, so I was like, just give it a try. It lasted a lot longer than I thought it would. I started using this in April of this year and I just finished it off like a week ago. That is phenomenal. I really did like it. I do think by the time I got to the end of it, it wasn't having as much of an effect on my skin. So I definitely can't purchase it back to back, as is true of most all skincare I use and love, but I'm not ruling this out. It is hefty. It is a hefty price tag, but it does last a long time. So price per use isn't terrible. I'm also not somebody who believes that they shouldn't invest a lot of money in cleanser. I do think that cleanser is impactful on my skin, so I'd rather put better ingredients in my cleanser than in other things because I do think it does directly make my skin better. We now move on to a cleansing balm sample that I decided to prioritize when it arrived with my Ulta haul, and that was the Benalla, I think I'm saying that correctly, Clean It Zero Cleansing Balm Original. So I actually had purchased the full size of this in that order and then got the sample, and I thought, oh cool, try the sample, see if you like it, and then you can either return the full size before you tear into it and now it's a tainted thing, or decide that you like it and keep it. I have to tell you, this little like pod here, I split it into 4 uses. I learned really quickly that it's a similar texture, not exactly, but similar to Good Molecules. And the Good Molecules one, a little goes a long way. Like a little bit of product really can break down your makeup. I like this stuff. I may even like it better than Good Molecules. I have to wait until I try the full size for the full period of time, but this sample definitely made me pleased with my choice, and I'm really, really excited about using this once I finish off the current full-size one that I have from Milani. I have a bath bomb. I finished off this pink bath bomb in Moonlit Orchid. Nothing special. I had been given this and finally used it off. I didn't feel like it really lasted very long in my bath, so I wouldn't seek these out, especially because they normally retail for like $5, something ridiculous like that. No bath bomb should be $5, hate to break it to you. So it was fine, got the job done, but nothing special. We now move into sheet masks. I've really been going at it with the sheet mask, which is great because I'm glad to be getting usage out of this and also trying to help support my skin. Please don't panic, I'm not going overkill. I've only used 2 of these a week because I do want to make sure that I'm not trying to over-treat my skin because that will not have great reactions either. So the first thing that I have is from Seventh Heaven. It's the Deep Cleansing, Nourishing, and Hydrating Nut Oil Mask. This mask was messy. I don't know, I didn't think it was very helpful for my skin. I wouldn't recommend this one. From the same brand, I've also used the Dragon Fruit Sauna. This is a skin sizzling cleanse. This one was really interesting. It did have a heat property to it. When I first put it on my skin, I was like, whoa, I feel the heat. But it faded really fast. It didn't hang on for very long, which I don't know if that was good or bad. I don't know. It definitely wasn't the type of heat that was painful, but it was noticeable as I massaged it onto my skin. I didn't feel like it did a whole lot of anything though besides heat up, so I don't know, I'm not convinced I would need to buy another one of these. I also have this detoxifying antioxidant Beauty 360, which is CVS's brand. This purifies and cleanses, awakening skin for a plumper, glowing complexion. I don't know, I'm not really into the CVS ones. I just don't feel like the ingredients are anything special and I don't really see much of an impact on my skin. And then the last three, we move into the clay charcoal-based masks. So I have two from Yes2. This is their Clear Skin Acne with Salicylic Acid Detoxifying Charcoal Mud Mask. This is from the Yes2 Tomatoes like facet of their line. These are fine. My struggle and like general note for all of these types of masks that have basically like the single-use claim but are a non-sheet mask, like put this clay on your face type of thing, is I find that the amount of product they shove in here is way more than what you need for a single use. I get it, they're probably trying to be overzealous because they don't necessarily know how big any one person's face is, but like I could easily split one of these open and put some on Ben's face and my face and like still have some left over. It's a little bit annoying because I don't want to necessarily squeeze it out and pot it, and like that's a whole layer of maintenance I don't want to deal with, but I also don't like wasting it. So it's a bad balance for me. I think going forward with these mud masks, I'm better off just buying like a pot of it and using it. Like Origins has their charcoal mask that you can squeeze out. Like I think something like that is better suited for me over these types of masks, but I do like charcoal. I do think my skin responds positively to charcoal, and it is an ingredient that I do like to apply to my face. On the same vein, I did use the L'Oreal Pure Clay Mask, the Detox and Brighten 3 Pure Clays. This was only like a 10-minute mask. I definitely felt like it didn't dry down in 10 minutes, so I kept it on for longer, which is a bad idea because it then like sucked the life out of my face, so I didn't strike the good balance of wiping it off right when it dried, and I should have. So I liked these. I don't know if I would buy them though, again, because they're not potted, and I'm a person who likes potted charcoal products. Two more products in this category. First up is a soap. It's the Texas Scents Hill Country Garden Spearmint with Peppermint Leaf Bar Soap. I used it, it's fine, nothing very special. And then I have a new product in my life. These are the Golly Nutrition Apple Cider Vinegar Gummies. I am someone who deals with intestinal issues. It's not fun, it's not pleasant, it's a constant trial and error. I know a lot of it comes from diet, but correcting your diet is easier said than done. So part of me helping my insides, which is super cute to talk about, was trying apple cider vinegar. I was not going to drink it because that sounds awful, and other tablets that I have tried that are apple cider based have a nasty taste to them, which is also not delightful. So when I came across these, I thought like go ahead and give it a whirl. These are better in taste than other ones that I've tried. I wouldn't say they're super yummy, give me a whole handful, but they're fine. I've been taking 2 in the morning and I am seeing some positive results from it. So I do like these. I'm not a doctor, none of that stuff. So you do you. But if you're wondering the taste of these compared to other apple cider pills, these are all right. I don't dislike them. I would buy them again. Okay, final category. Come along with me as we talk about all the Halloween nails that I wore from Impress over like the last month. So essentially, I decided to declutter a pair of my Halloween nails. These are from the collection, I want to say last year. These are the ones called Living Dead. The packaging looks a little rough because one of my like single-use masks did a little bit of leaking, not cute. But this is what I was talking about when I talked to you guys about my Halloween haul from Impress. Traditionally, they would put out these cute nails like these, but in the length medium, which for me is like cat claws. I don't have very long nail beds, so unless my nails are super long, these have not enough to adhere to, and they just like impeded my life. I bought them anyways because I was like, well, they're real cute, they're real cheap, so like maybe I'll give them a whirl. but they sat here for a year, and then when I got the new Halloween collection, I was like, you're definitely gonna only wear the short ones, so we're letting these go. And then I went on like a binge of Halloween nails. I basically decided that I wanted to use up entire boxes. So as I wore one set, once that set wore down, I just put the next set on from that same box. And that is why I have so many finished up. I just didn't want to carry them on to the next year. So the first ones that I have are the very intense Halloween ones that I wore. These are called Barely Scared. These are the ones that I was wearing in a bunch of videos that you guys saw like last week. They had basically every single nail was a different type of pattern. They were mostly monsters, like jack-o'-lantern monsters. Big fan of them. They glowed in the dark. Loved that feature. So happy to have gotten 2 sets out of that. And then I also wore these, which were called In the Dark. Again, they glowed in the dark, which was great. And these were basically like black and orange gold glitter nails. There was also like another design on them, not as intense, every finger a different pattern, but they were great. The matte actually held up really well on here. Sometimes I noticed that matte nails, the matte finishing will peel or chip away. Very weird. That did not happen with these. I was very pumped. I also finished off 2 that were not Halloween based. My sister sometimes, who also wears impress nails, will give me her box after she's worn 1 set because she struggles to get a second set of 10 out of the 30. So that's what happened with these 2. She forwarded these to me. I got to get 1 more set out of them and then they are considered finished. So the first ones that I have are So Unexpected. I've worn these multiple times before. I like them a lot. I like just the general purple nature of them. Would definitely recommend. I also wore the So Unexpected as well. Weird. Different pattern though, and they look like this. I've also had these before. I also like these ones. I think that they wear nicely. And again, to me, I consider them like a neutral nail, where it's not a French manicure, but it's also not like too in your face. Like they look nice, put together types of nails. Finally, I have used 2 Kiss brush-on nail glues. The ebbs and flows. I need to replenish my stock of these because both of these basically were used up to the point where they started to like dry out or get gloopy, which tends to happen as I'm constantly popping the brush in and out of the glue. This is my favorite nail glue. It makes it super easy to apply. I know that the box says you don't need it, but I like to apply nail glue and then the press-on nail. I find that when I don't do that, just by default, the nails don't hold up as well. I'm very harsh on my nails though, so that could just be unique to me, but I swear by this stuff. Definitely need to repurchase this as soon as I'm at my next CVS. All right, guys, that is it for me and this round of trash. I so appreciate you being here and hearing all of my thoughts on these products. I hope that you enjoyed hearing my thoughts, and I look forward to talking to you in my next video real soon.